Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Joyce, Joe Parker goes down tomorrow night. Absolutely fascinating clash of styles. It really is. I think it's going to be a barnstormer. I do. But I do think it will take a few rounds for it to catch fire. I don't think it's going to be hands down swinging for the fences from round one. It's not going to be like that. These are two elite heavyweights, right? And I think both of their styles is a problem for each other. Joe Parker being a smaller man is a problem for Joyce. And Joyce being a taller man is a problem for Joe Parker. So I'm going to explain that. Traditionally, when you've seen Joyce fight, he does struggle with the smaller man. He's very open to the overhand right. His defense isn't great. You saw it with Carlos Takam, right? He was eating shots. Right, and even in his last fight, you could see he was eating right hands. So that is going to be a punch he has to be very careful of, that overhand right, because when it comes from a smaller man, it's a lot easier to land it. You can bend down, you can feint, and bang, come over the top. Right, so he's going to have to watch out for that. Joyce, his style, being a taller fighter, is a problem for Joe Parker. Joe Parker has struggled with taller fighters. You know, we did struggle with AJ. He was getting outboxed by him. So he has to break that range and he has to get in distance to let his hands go. So the game plans are going to be key because both men will have game plans to the T. Andy Lee is a great trainer. I believe that. Right? He's a boxing man. He would have gone through every single scenario in this fight. If they're behind, if they're winning, right, he would have gone through that. So it's going to be fascinating to see. For me, Joyce is very underrated, right? You see a lot of people saying he's slow, he's clumsy, he's awkward. And I can see that point of view because in some of his fights, he does look like that. When he's got no respect for your power, he'll just walk you down and bludgeon you and he won't care what's coming back and he'll just let his combinations go and he'll just drown you and suffocate you and take you out. I see that point of view. But you have to understand this guy had a very good amateur career. He won an Olympic Games silver medal. And let's be honest, he should have won a gold medal against Tony Yoka. I think it actually has been upgraded to gold because of corruption. Right? So you don't get to that level as an amateur without having solid fundamentals. And his jab is one of the best in the heavyweights division. Now, he might not be flashy with it. He might not be really fast. But the timing of it, he never telegraphs it. He throws it from here, right? And you don't know if he's going to throw it. He never lifts his arm up. He doesn't move his eyes. It's just you don't know if he's going to throw the right or the jab. And he just bang, puts it out there, right? And it's fucking effective. It stops you in your track. Look what he did against Daniel Debra, right? He didn't just steam in with no regard for what's coming back. He worked behind that jab and then followed it up with the right hand. His right hand is very good. I put this on my Instagram post a few days ago. It's very simple, but the 1-2 can win you a fight at heavyweight boxing. Klitschko made a career out of it. And Joyce has a seriously strong 1-2. He'll throw the jab, he'll keep pouring with it, he'll pull it out, and bang, he'll step in with the right hand. And that is going to stop you in your tracks. And over a 12-round fight, that's going to bust you up till you've got nothing left. So Parker has to be extremely careful. He can't just go in, right, and let his hands go with no regard for what's coming back because he'll get put to kip. He'll know that. So I think he's going to be a bit cagey at first. He's going to try and gauge the distance, creep in, and when he's in distance, he'll let his hands go, and his hands will be a problem for Joyce. It will be because he's got fast hands. Right, maybe maybe the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. He has fast hands, Joe Parker. He always has. He's a good combination puncher. So that's going to cause Joyce problems. It will. But can he get past the jab? Believe me, Joyce isn't going to fight the same fight as he did against Carlos Takam or the last bloke. He's not, right? He's going to have a great game plan drilled in, right? He's not just going to walk fucking through anything with his hands down and no regard for what's coming back. It's not going to happen. Like against Daniel Debra, he didn't just steam in, he worked behind the jab. So I see the same scenario happening. I think the first few rounds, Joyce will put the jab out, and I think he'll be successful with it, and I think he'll stop Parker in his tracks, because Parker will realise, well, I don't want to get hit by too many of these, because the jab, it might not look very fast, as I say, but it's extremely effective. It will bust you up over a sustained period of time. And that's what Joe Joyce is very good at. He doesn't look great, but he's so effective. He's a very big heavyweight, right? And the 1-2, as I said before, will win you a fight in the heavyweight division. It will do. So it's going to be very interesting to see how both men deal with each other's styles. That's what I'm looking forward to. I do think at some point they'll catch fire. I do. I think as Parker gets later on in the fight, I think Parker will just put everything into it. And if Joyce is behind, he might be behind on the scorecards. You never know. He'll just abandon everything and he'll just try and look to take him out. But my prediction for this fight, I think Joyce will surprise everyone. I think he's a type of fighter who raises his game when he fights the better caliber of opposition, right? If he knows he's going to beat you and he's got no regard for your power, he'll just walk you down and take shots and take you out. He knows he can't do this against Parker, right? So I expect him to get behind the jab, right? I think the jab will be the key again. It will win him this fight. He will bust Parker up with it. I expect Parker to have success. I do with his fast hands. He'll have to take shots, Joyce. I see it being even early on. I think Joyce will win the first few rounds. I think Parker will come back into it. Then from round 7 to 12, that's when it's going to get sexy. That's when it's going to get sexy. I think Joyce will take Parker out late on, round 10 and 11. If not, he'll win a decision. I can't see Joe Parker winning this fight. I may be wrong. I think Joe Joyce is very underrated. As I said before, he's got a great amateur pedigree, and I think he'll use that against the better fighter, right? The better fighter he faces, he will go back to his good amateur boxing. But it's fascinating. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. But I can't see past a Joe Joyce win. I don't think Parker will win. I think once he feels that jab and he takes a lot of it, and then the right hand comes in, I think it will slowly take the life out of him, right? And as the rounds go on and on and on, I think his energy levels will go, and I think he might run out of ideas as he gets later on in the fight. I think Joyce will step it up. That's what I'm thinking, and we'll see. Look, maybe Parker puts him on his arse, drops him. Right, and that changes everything. Maybe there's a cut. You know, Joe Joyce can get a cut. So it's very hard to predict heavyweight boxing. But for me, there's a lot of people out there really dismissing Joe Joyce's skills. You can't dismiss an Olympic caliber boxer, right, who has a great jab and a really, really good right hand. You can't dismiss that. He's fit as well, right? Never mind the engine, right? We've not even spoke about that yet. That comes with it. So when you put everything together, the right hand, the jab, the engine, that's a hard man to beat. That's a hard man to beat. I'm telling you, right? Does Joe Parker have the tools to beat him? I don't think he does. I think it'll be a close fight, but I think Joyce will edge it. His boxing skills will win in the fight. I know people may think I'm being stupid when I say that, but he does have good boxing skills. I expect it to catch fire later on and win for a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts. Who wins the fight? Joyce, Parker? Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know.